My comment is to the young lady. I wish when I was as young as her, I had paid attention to the dangers. I'm the poster child of everything that can go bad because of weight. I'm going to have open heart surgery on October 10th. I had a heart attack. I have diabetes, high blood pressure, no cartilage on both legs. I need 2 knee replacements. And health is important. And overweight is linked to more health issues.
Alrighty, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for clicking on today's video. Today we're going to be talking about a maybe former fat acceptance or, fat liberation kind of TikToker, social media influencer that has kind of not been on the internet very much so recently. So we're going to be talking about Lexi Nemo. Now, for those of you that maybe remember, I played a clip at the very beginning of this. I was actually on an episode of Dr. Phil with her, with a bunch of other people as well, and Lexi seems to have not been posting as much. So I actually heard about this from Shannon, who I did a video with recently, where she was talking about how she's kind of left the body positivity space, and she was talking about other people that have maybe stopped posting and stuff like that, and then Lexi was brought up, and I remember being like, I know that name, the reason being because we had that connection. Now, if you're not familiar with who Lexi is, the reason that she ended up on Dr. Phil was she uploaded a TikTok where she was very condescending, in my opinion, but she was talking about how basically not wanting to date someone because of their size is the same as not wanting to date someone because of their skin color.
Hey, bestie! You're wrong. I think it's time for another adult pre-K lesson. What do you think? All right, turn your listening ears on. Zoop, catch a bubble in your mouth. Good job. Okay, here's the thing. Having a preference is something like, I'm looking for a partner who likes kayaking or wakes up early in the morning or loves pizza. But when your preferences exclude an entire group of marginalized people, that's problematic. Okay, that's not nice. That's not a preference. If you lump all fat people in one group together as though they are not very different individuals, that's fatphobic. Just like lumping all black people in one group and saying, I don't like black people is racist. And lumping all disabled people in one group and saying, I don't think people in wheelchairs are hot is ableist. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Now, obviously, that video got a lot of attention, and that's what led her to being on Dr. Phil, which led me to also being on Dr. Phil. Today's video is not about that experience because we've made a couple videos about my experience on Dr. Phil, which you can feel free to check out. I think it was a good time, and I have a lot of fun, and in those videos, I am bald, so have fun watching those. But today, we're going to be talking about Lexi because she recently, within the past few months, actually uploaded a TikTok talking about how she is no longer really posting on social media. So this is the TikTok right here, and we can't really listen to the audio because of it's a very annoying but copyright stuff. But basically, she's like, it's this audio where she is, why haven't you posted in a month? And then she's kind of going over these things, which are no's, right? So did you quit TikTok? She's saying no to that, right? And then she's saying no to, did you take a mental health break? She's saying no to, did the haters hurt your feelings? She's saying no to, did something happen with you and your husband? And then these next ones, she's saying like, oh, maybe that's the reason, right? So this next one is, did you get diagnosed with fibromyalgia? And she's kind of like, maybe, right? And then this next one after that is and spinal stenosis, and then she's saying maybe it is that, and then the very end and you might have narcolepsy. And then kind of reading the caption that she wrote, hi, remember me, I don't know if anyone will see this because it's been a few weeks since I last posted, and the algorithm can be a major hater, but I wanted to say something about why I haven't been here much this last year, especially lately. I've been suffering from chronic pain and fatigue for the past 6 years until recently my labs were normal. Interesting. Until recently, my labs were normal. I would have flare-ups / burnouts that lasted anywhere from 3 days to 2 weeks, but doctors kept telling me I was fine. In the past 2 years, the pain and fatigue has increased so much that I've been way less physically active and social, which has taken a toll on my mental health. Still, doctors say I was physically fine. Well, over the past 6 months, My health has declined rapidly, and it's getting harder and harder to fake it till I make it. For example, last summer, I was able to do things like hike through the rainforest for 3 hours, snorkel 2 days in a row, walk all over Disney World for 8 hours a day for 4 days. Now I can't walk further than 200 feet without needing rest. I'm exhausted and in pain all the time, and it's been insanely challenging to navigate. I'm also struggling with muscle weakness, spasms, and numbness and tingling. I finally received a fibromyalgia and spinal stenosis diagnosis. That rhymes. That's cool. And I'm exploring treatment options, but I have yet to see a neurologist this month because I have narcolepsy, which would explain the fibromyalgia, and there's still possibility of tumor and MS that I want to rule those out. Acting is my career and takes precedence, so that energy I have been preserving for auditions and gigs, but content creation and social media marketing are my jobs as well. And it's been tough staying on top of it all. My TikTok account had to be pushed to the back burner so that I could fulfill the other responsibilities. But having a stagnant account that hurt my brand, sponsorships, and consequently my finances is all super stressful and frustrating. And there's so much more I could say. I've talked about this a bit on Instagram, but I've been hesitant to share this part of my life because TikTok can be a cruel and chaotic place, and honestly most days I'm just too tired to deal with it. But lately I felt more anxious, stressed about not posting, so here I am. If you've read this far, thank you for being here and thank you for the support. So if you're kind of curious about what spinal stenosis is, I kind of did a little bit of research, cursory research. Rachel helped me as well, who's my, producer, business partner. She helps me with a lot of stuff. But so just for those of you that don't know, spinal stenosis happens when the space inside the backbone is too small. This can cause pressure on the spinal cord of nerves that travel through the spine. Spinal stenosis occurs most often in the lower back and neck. Some people with spinal stenosis have no symptoms. Others may experience pain, tingling, numbness, and muscle weakness. Symptoms can get worse over time. The most common cause of spinal stenosis is wear and tear changes in the spine related to arthritis. People who have severe cases of spinal stenosis may need surgery, right? And then I was sent this article as well from the Atlantic Spine Center, and it says what obesity does to the spine. Dr. Kalik Chang with tips on understanding back pain and spinal damage wrought by carrying too many pounds. This first part is just him kind of talking about how, there's a lot of Americans that have obesity. We've talked about that before, but obesity causes. While our vertebral column, the path of vertebrae extending down to the spine, tends to weaken with age, this process accelerates in obese people, Dr. Chang says. This can trigger a variety of spinal problems, including disc degeneration, when vertebral discs weaken, lose moisture, and begin to collapse. Herniated discs, when the soft center of the spinal disc push through the tough outer shell. Compression fractures, when vertebral bones decrease 15 to 20% in height due to breakage. And then spinal stenosis, a narrowing of the spinal canal. Now, so what this really reminded me of is this exchange that happened on that episode of Dr. Phil that I was a part of. So I remember this. So I was, as you can see, I'm sitting here with my bald head, kind of just hanging out. But what was happening in this episode was Dr. Phil actually had the different audience members kind of just chime in and share their thoughts. And this was an older woman that was sharing her experience as someone that has been obese or overweight for a majority of her life. And it was just... It's just crazy kind of what's happening now versus that moment in the show. So I just kind of wanted to play that and share it with you guys.
My comment is to the young lady, I wish when I was as young as her, I had paid attention to the dangers. I'm the poster child of everything that can go bad because of weight. I'm going to have open heart surgery on October 10th. I had a heart attack. I have diabetes, high blood pressure, no cartilage on both legs. I need 2 knee replacements. And health is important. And overweight is linked to more health issues.
So I just remember like sitting in the audience and just hearing that. And it's something that I've said many times, right? Like when we talk a lot about these people that are in the fat acceptance community, that are very vocal, especially the people that are very vocal, usually they're younger, right? Not always, but usually they're younger. And as we get older, these problems start to rear their ugly head. And it's just, I don't wish that would happen to Lexi. Absolutely not. But it's just another one of those signs that it's like, these activists and this way of thinking is so so much just in the now, and it's like the future is not a thought, right? Like you can be completely healthy in the moment, right? But it's like these issues will only get worse as you get older for the most part. And so like my thoughts on this, and these are things that I've said many times, is, and I know this might seem like a hollow thing to say and people might not believe that I feel this way, but genuinely a lot of times when I see these, fat acceptance activists or whatever, that are really strong in their beliefs and they're very strong about what they say, I do feel bad because I hope that they don't end up having these issues, because it's going to be very hard for them to maybe make that change, to be like, I need to make a change to better my situation, because their weight and it's so tied to their brand that they either, maybe that's how Lexi felt. She felt like, you know what? I just need to disappear, because if I start to maybe want to lose weight, or I start losing weight, I'm afraid of how people are going to react. I'm afraid of what people are going to say, right? And I can only imagine it's definitely not fun to have a lot of people, screaming, "I told you so," right? But it's one of those things that it's like, we're seeing this time and time again. As I said, when I first started covering this stuff, I said, right now you might not have issues, but as we start to get older, those things are going to catch up to us. And it seems like maybe that's what's happened here. But I just wanted to share that little update. I'm genuinely curious what y'all think down in the comments section down below. I would love to know your thoughts. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you next time. Peace.